If you used to be a World War II gamer but now exclusively play Cold War but still miss some of the tier 10s, well, there's a good news for you as this season's Regiment reward tank is Era 1 T57. It maintains the same armor as the World War II version, but it is a 3-shell autoloader. It also takes longer to reload, but so is every tank. It does have slightly more alpha as well, 450 instead of 440. So let's get started with the review. First, for equipment, I'm using gun stabilizer, improved ventilation, gun link drive, and turbocharger as I want to improve the gun handling, and it's always derpy in Era 1 more than the tier 10. I'm using a mix of standard and premium shells and using large consumables, so medkit, repair kit, and enhanced hull patch kit. For my crew skills, I'm using bond leader, snapshot, run and gun, clutch braking, off-road driving, safe storage, armor angling, track mechanic, and dynamic driving. So going for survivability and gun perks. Looking at the armor of this tank, as I said, it's the same as the World War II version. So it can be trolley turret, might get some bounces here and there, but don't rely on it. Your friend is essentially the bad accuracy in Era 1, which basically would hit spot where you might get some lucky bounces. But otherwise, if fully aim shot hits you, you're not going to bounce many shots. And also, relatively, the penetration is more in Era 1. So if they're hitting where they're aiming, they will penny you. So exactly same armor as we have in World War II version. And to be honest, the World War II is a little bit stronger than this one. Now looking at the modules, we have fuel tank and engine in the back, ammo rack with the middle and in the turret, and 4 crew members, 3 in the turret, and a driver in the hull. Looking at the stats, it is after the equipment I'm using, so 40 kilometers per hour forward, 15 reverse, 15.64 power to weight, same HPS tier 10, 2250, hull rotation 39, terrain resistance of 0.96, 1.06, and 1.85 on for medium and soft. So okay, terrain resistance values. Turret rotation is 35. It maintains the same gun depression, 8 degrees, 12 degrees elevation. Accuracy during rotation, not the greatest. 1.61, definitely not the greatest, I would say. The gun is going to be derpier than the other Era 1 tanks. Reload time, 32.69, very, very long reload for only 3 shells. 0.35 base accuracy. Accuracy during movement, 2.01, and also very, very terrible, especially considered to World War II version. But as I said, every gun is derpier in Era 1 if you especially if you compare with the World War II version. 1.98 second of aim time, 2.2 interclip. For penetration, we have 278 standard, 340 heat. Alpha is 450 on standard, premium 580 on HE. And shell velocity is 1067 on standard, 1143 on heat. So apparently heat has faster shell velocity, so don't hesitate to fire heat, especially when long range sniping for that extra almost 100 shell velocity. And 762 HE. Silver run rate of 60%, premium vehicle run rate of 15%, and free XP of 5%. And whether the tank is broken or balanced, I would say balanced, but of course can use some love. And because it's going to be the regiment tanks, usually the tanks that are earnable, more people play it and do get buffed in the future. So to be honest, the tank looks a little weaker, not gonna lie here, especially the long reload. And the derpy gun doesn't have the greatest armor either. I would say it's balanced at best. I would say it's balanced at best. And I do have a sense maybe in the future you might or we might get a buff on this tank, but that's just my guess because every season pass tank sooner or later do get buffs, and I have a similar feeling for regiment tanks. And now let's see what this tank can do in the battlefield. I'm in Death Valley, one of the bigger maps in the game, and to be honest, for this tank, not the best map as the tank is slow. It is similar, or even for some of the heavy tanks in tier 10, it is a little bit slow. It doesn't go like 45. So going forward, one thing to keep in mind with this tank is make sure you're fully aimed before you fire because the reload is long, and imagine missing 1 or 2 shells for that long 30 plus seconds of reload. So you have to be very, very patient while aiming. Take your time. There is no rush. And of course you have the health patch kit. Even if you take a shot, for example, you're clipping someone, you're stationary, making sure everything is hitting where you're aiming, you get 3 pens. They only pen you once, and then you can just activate your hull patch kit. Because it's an auto loader, you will come out on trade as long as you penetrate the opponent. Another thing, they have added enhanced outlines. So aiming is now easier than ever. Look at that, beautiful. You can see if it's in cover, beautiful. Beautiful. So we have our first target IS-3M sitting in the open, bang, look at that. Letting it fully aim. He is tracked, and another one. This is what we call a perfect start. Did not take any shot and penned him 3 out of 3 times. 1321. It has a clip potential of 1350. I low rolled a little bit and got some assist. Now going forward, I thought I can help my teammate over on the right side. There are 2 mediums. Maybe I can join him and we can win the 2v2, or at least I can get a clip and then hide. But what do I notice? 2 more tanks crossing and they're more up top. I'm like, oh, should I run? Maybe I'll get shot over on the other side. But they were trying to peek him. He reversed to a position where I could help him, and there's the derpy. There's the derpy shot. Unfortunate, I missed the first shot and penned 2. Not what you want, as I said. If you want to have a decent game in this tank, you have to hit every shot. You don't have crazy DPM. You don't have crazy reload. So, patience. Patience and aiming. Not something I excel at these days. Now rotating to the other side, it also, because it's an autoloader, you don't have the best gun depression or gun elevation. It doesn't have the best gun elevation, and I struggle to maintain the elevation as I drove forward, so I had to go back. I also think Thangwa is a better, because better gun depression, usable turret, still has 3-shot autoloader, and if you have Thangwa, you might enjoy that tank more. But that tank was, you had to buy it, and this one is earnable, so there is that plus point. Another long range shot. What do we have? 430. Beautiful. Beautiful. They do have 2 tank destroyers over there though. Haven't taken any damage yet. I got spotted and they have 4005 over there. I do see him. I do see him. Get in cover. Get in cover. The last thing I want is get penned by 4005. Yeah, I have hull patch kit and whatnot, but why take a high alpha shot to begin with? Because he'll shoot, if it pens me, he'll go back in cover and I might not even hit a single shot. It's such a long range, I might not be fully aimed or my shell will just derp. But this time he is now spotted not looking at me. And 4005, a tricky tag if it's like slightly side on. Pen the first time and there's the second one. Second one just went, I don't know where it went. Another 2 out of 3. No. It's not the worst thing, you know, it's not 1 out of 0, but not the best either. We are slightly winning. 2% more HP, 1 more tank. And I'm on that long reload again. The good thing was, because those guys were spotted 4005, they wouldn't be looking at me. They're worried about our tanks. We're on the other side. And as I'm going forward, get spotted by M103. Not loaded yet, a little bit longer reload, and there it is. I got my first pen, and here I'm like, you know what, I'll take a shot. He missed anyway. I missed the second shot, and then I missed the third. I blame the RNG. I blame the RNG, but at the same time, I didn't take any shot. So I guess RNG was impacting both of us and not just me. 4500 damage now, 10% HP advantage. Looking over on the other side, maybe I'll see 4005 again, get a shot. The good thing is when you have shot at multiple opponents over different sides, but there's no pressure on you, you can switch. And when you're taking the time to switch left or right, the tank, they also stop looking at you, because if you're fighting one tank, he's going to be staring at you the entire time. But when you engage one tank, then turn around, engage the other one, the first tank, usually get bored and start looking toward the other side. So now going around, M103 also pushed forward. They have the medium, and there's a Conway 650 HP remaining. Hoping for him to stay there. And he's out of the battle. 3 tanks advantage, 16%, and it looked like it's a comfortable win, and I might not get too much damage here. M103 is pushing, so forcing my reload. He stopped as there was a tank destroyer in front of him. Going for a big brain play here. Going around, dumping a full clip. He would not expect what's coming. And what do we have? That 4005. Whoa. It's the guy I penned, and he wanted revenge. Not cool, 4005. Not cool. Nonetheless, though, good thing I had the health patch kit, and I was gonna be loaded before him. And with the help of our light tank, I do manage to finish him as well. Now there is the M103. Shot him once, and was hoping that light would buy me enough time for me to reload. But there's another tank, another heavy tank, and this M103 has gone wild. And luckily, he didn't aim properly and ended up bouncing on me. And what do we have? A IS-4, not the easiest tank to deal with, and even he bounced on me. So the both of them are definitely marksmen, and now they're pushing me left and right, making it difficult for me. M103 got penned once. He switched his attention towards the other tank. I should not have wasted my shot on M103 there though, because I thought we will kill the IS-4 as well. Dumped the next two shot on IS-4, 7700 damage. I was hoping for another bounce here, but no. I would have died regardless because there's a 4005 behind. So even though it looked like we had domination and I would have killed everyone easily, their support arrived sooner than I thought and ended up killing me. Still decent game, but do let me know in comments what do you think about this tank. Do you like the T57 in Cold War? Are you planning to grind it in the regiments, or are you still not in a regiment and looking for one? Then you can join our community. So that's it for this video. I'll catch you in the next one.